There's car 4. Cool. Hey, Steve, we got everybody. We got everybody. It's not like last time at all. Not like last time. Nah, I'm just kidding. Congratulations, everyone. You just survived Earthquake, the big one. That was a simulation of an earthquake measuring a whopping 8.3 on the Richter scale. And it's a great example of the type of mechanical effect we used in our disaster movies of the 70s, like Earthquake starring Charlton Heston. Off to the left-hand side, you'll be able to get a sneak peek of our oldest set there on the back lot. That's Denver Street. It opened when we opened our doors to the public, March 15th, 1915. And we're going to calm things down after that last little experience. We're going to visit a nice little relaxing vacation town called Amity Island. I know some of you may have heard of Amity before. Yes, we have had some shark problems in the past, but you don't need to worry about that anymore because we have finally caught the shark. Really? It's hanging up here on the right-hand side as we make our way into the town. You'll see that big catch hanging up right there. Lets everyone know that we finally caught the threat. But just to play it safe, we got my buddy George in the water right now doing one last check of the area. So if you see any bubbles in the water, don't panic. Just my buddy George. He's a really friendly guy too. Oh, there he is. Oh, and he's got some company out there in the water. It's heading right towards him. Excuse me. George! George, moment ago, the water, please. There's a shark heading right towards you. George! Oh, yikes. He had a lot of guts to be out there, ladies and gentlemen. There they all are. That's gross. We should be safe, though, as long as everyone on the tram remains seated and we stay out of the water. You know, people go on the tram goes in the water, sharks in the water. Our shark. So we're going to play it safe right behind these flammable gas tanks. Okay, I actually do think we're safer from the shark right now. I think sharks are afraid of fire. Something about fire not mixing too well with water. They, of course, live in water, so it kind of makes sense in a weird way. All right, everybody, give it up for Bruce, the mechanical shark from the hit film Jaws. He did a great job scaring everybody on the tram today. He didn't do such a great job on the set of Jaws, though. Jaws was his first real acting job here in Hollywood. He was a little nervous, he had some stage fright issues, and he didn't really perform up to task.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited. The shark worked well enough. For a while there, it had to take us a full time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
That right there is a photo you frame and put on the wall. That's a keeper right there. That's like the ultimate souvenir for the production, I think. Now, I know when I was growing up, I always thought the shark's name was Jaws, but it turns out it's Bruce. You see, director Steven Spielberg decided to name his vicious man-eating shark after his lawyer. I'm sure his lawyer didn't mind at all, though. Jaws enjoyed enormous success. It's considered the first summer blockbuster of all time, and for a while was one of the highest-grossing films of all time, until about 2 years later, when another summer blockbuster emerged on the scene, a little film you may have heard of called Star Wars from director George Lucas. That just took over everything. Thankfully, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg are good friends. They even teamed up to bring us the Indiana Jones film series, so there's no competition between them at all. Really good friends right there. Two of the greatest minds in Hollywood. It's a really good friendship right there. But we're leaving Amity Island behind right now. We're about to head towards one of the most desirable addresses in Hollywood. Of course, talking about Wisteria Lane from the hit ABC series Desperate Housewives. So get your cameras ready, folks. We're about to make a nice left-hand turn onto Wisteria Lane. Now, our first housewife, Gabrielle, played by actress Eva Longoria Parker, lives in this first yellow house here on the left-hand side. It's a really nice house. I like this house a lot, especially the front lawn here. Got a nice flower arrangement happening right there. Got a good gardener doing work on her lawn, let me tell you. Very nice job. 2 doors down from Gabrielle, also on the left, also in a yellow house, lives Susan, played by Terry Hatcher. Across the street inside this big blue house, that's where Bree lives, played by Marcia Cross. back over to the left in this greenhouse, that's where Lynette lives, played by Felicity Huffman. Now, there's not too much happening inside these houses. They're primarily used as exterior sets, with the majority of the interiors being filmed inside sound stages on the front lot. But the notable exception to this rule is Nicolette Sheridan's character, Edie. Her house, which is on the very end of Wisteria Lane, it's this lovely pink house we're going to pass here on the right. Her house is what we call a practical set. That means that it's fully furnished inside, which means you can shoot inside, outside, wherever you want to for that house in particular, making it very, very practical. In fact, they filmed this scene right outside Edie's house for her glorious return to Wisteria Lane.
Next morning, Edie Britt decided to announce her return to Wisteria Lane.
Okay, you're not gonna believe this, but she's back. Edie, is that really you? You know someone else my age with a body like this? Well, what happened to your tenant? He came into some money and decided to move. He thought, what the heck? Let's move back. We? Oh, you don't know. I have a husband now. Really? Whose?
Oh, no, she didn't. That was a sick burn right there. Let's see how the rest of Wisteria Lane looks like on the finished product.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
Oh, what the heck? Let's move back.
Now, Wisteria Lane is a very realistic neighborhood, but once in a while our script calls for homes that are a little bit more out of the ordinary. And there's no better example of that than Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard. The crew of The Grinch made extensive use of our backlot while filming. We're going to get a great close-up look at some of these sets in just a few moments, but in the meantime, here to tell you a little bit more about the filming of The Grinch is Ron Howard himself.
One of the biggest creative challenges that we faced on How the Grinch Stole Christmas was to bring the storybook world of Dr. Seuss to life. Some of the most talented artists in Hollywood worked for months to create a living, breathing Whoville. When it was all done, they had built an entire city, and the fantasy world of Dr. Seuss became a reality.
Of course, one of the coolest examples of this world of fantasy is how the Christmas lights are applied to the buildings in Whoville. Take a look. You'll wish you were hanging up like this. You wish it was this easy every holiday. That's the way to do it, folks. A giant Gatling gun. Never have to worry about falling off a ladder ever again.
Yesterday or so, a movie was produced by director Ron Howard and a doctor named Seuss. A seasonal favorite of despicable plot of a Grinch who stole Christmas from this very spot. The small town of Whoville, the home of the Who's, was wrapped up like Christmas. Lights red, green, and blue. Just remember, the Grinch doesn't care for our cheer. He lurks in the snares made by
We've been waiting for you! Trim up your pets with fossil fuzz, and with their boots and muzzle buzz. Trim up the town with goo gums and feelings full of things, and trim up the tree with basil, pinks, and palms.